Let's be honest, the UCAT is not an easy exam to prepare for, so today I'm going to be giving my best recommendations to effectively revise for it and ensure that you get all your offers for dental and medical school like I did. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Faris and I make videos to help guide dental students reach their fullest potential and give applicants an insight into the crazy world of dentistry. So today I'm going to be giving you my 5-step no-nonsense guide to effectively revise for the UCAT and start instantly increasing your score. If you find this video useful and want to see more content on the dental school application, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below. Now let's drill right into it. So I remember preparing for the UCAT a few years ago and reading so much conflicting information about how to revise and which books to buy, which websites to use, and it was all really confusing. So I'm sure it's the same for you guys right now. But the thing I found most useful when I started studying was identifying the different types of questions I would encounter in the UCAT. And that is my first step of this no-nonsense guide. It's really important to grasp early on that this UCAT is not a knowledge-based exam. It's not a normal exam that you just do like your A-levels or your GCSEs. As a result of that, you need a different approach. And I think it's really important at the start just to really find out what the questions are like. Don't put yourself under any time conditions. Don't make it too stressful, but take the time out to identify the question types and really understand what you need to answer. Again, the aim of this is to just identify the styles of question rather than actually trying to answer them fully and get 100%. For example, in the verbal reasoning section, you have the true, false, and can't tell questions, which come up a lot. You also have other types of questions like incomplete statement questions and a load of others that you have to consider. So instead of you just doing a load of practice questions and trying to understand things by force, really take the time out to identify the styles and find out the best techniques to answer each style of question. There are a load of really useful sites and online resources that you can use that help you tackle the individual styles of question and how you should approach them and answer them accurately and quickly. And I'll leave links down below to these sites just so you can access them quickly. So really do try and take the time out to identify the styles of questions, identify the best techniques to answer them, and this is going to help you in the long run. Because a lot of the time people just say do a load of questions, just practice, which is kind of what I preached last year. But if you don't practice correctly, how are you going to improve? The second step of my no-nonsense guide is to identify your weaknesses early. Now at this point, if you've listened to what I've said, you've practiced some questions, you've found out how to answer them the best way, and you've realized, well, wait a minute, Faris, I'm still finding this a bit difficult. This is totally normal. There's always one section that everyone hates and finds particularly difficult with the UCAT, even if you've practiced a lot and you've looked at all the perfect techniques. For me, that was verbal reasoning, and I feel like a lot of people do badly in the verbal reasoning just in general. But for you, it might be something else. But the main thing here is to ensure that you don't get disheartened by this. It's very common for everyone to have a weak section. It's just important to find this very early and start working on it to try and improve. There's no point just aimlessly doing questions and trying to practice until it improves. You need to deep dive into the section that you're finding hardest. Again, identify the styles of questions you found bad, go over resources, and try and find out the best ways to improve. As I've mentioned before, I'm going to leave some really useful links down in the description that you can use. And by using these resources, you should be able to find a load of different techniques that help answer the same style of question. Identifying your weaknesses early is really useful because the UCAT is average across all the different sections. So there's no point being really good at certain sections and really bad at others and thinking, oh, it's just going to average out. It's important to try and bring those weak subjects up as it's going to improve your average overall. And just for some general tips to help you improve on your weaker sections, you can do things like finding effective ways to skim read in the verbal reasoning section, make sure you revise and know all the simple formulas and equations for the quantitative reasoning section, practice your deductive reasoning for decision making, and using the scan system for the abstract reasoning section, which is actually really useful, and I've got a video about that up here somewhere. And in general, you just need to find different techniques that work for you with all the different sections. As I've said, everyone's got their own weaknesses, but one thing I would personally really recommend is using the flag, guess, and get back to it later method, which is a really super effective method of optimizing your time and accuracy, and I'll go through that in a bit more detail later on in the video. So make sure you stick around for that. Step 3 of this no-nonsense guide is to make sure that you make a timetable. Now, time and time again, people tell me, oh, how long should I revise for? What should I do for this, that, and the other? You need to revise regularly. There's no point trying to cram this all in one week. It's not very effective, and you can get away with it, but I really wouldn't recommend it. I'd personally recommend doing about 3 to 6 weeks of preparation. This gives you enough time to practice different tests and questions and identify weaknesses and improve them in enough time. But everybody is different. Some people need more time, some need less. Personally, I did about 6 days of revision, but if I could go back in time, I really wouldn't recommend that. It was very risky and it really could have messed me up for the future. So in order to optimize your timetable, you really should split it up into the different sections and spend adequate amount of time for each one. As you progress further and identify your weaker and stronger sections, you should spend more time on the weak sections so you can improve them a bit more and try and get that score up to match with the other sections. So let's say you're getting low scores in quantitative reasoning, make sure you go back, look at the different question types, identify the best techniques to improve, allocate more time to do it, and then over time your score is going to improve. I personally like to use Google Calendar and Notion to make my timetables and integrate them into my daily routine. Additionally, you can just use a little notebook where you just write down all the different tasks you want to do. It's totally up to you, but the most important thing is just to do it. Don't rely on your own self-will. You're just going to get lazy and you'll neglect it and start doing things in the last week. And if you're really stuck and don't know how to structure your time, I'm going to leave a sample timetable down below that you can look at for inspiration. Now, step 4 of the no nonsense guide is to start doing time question practice. Personally, I'd recommend using an online question bank like Medify. I find it very useful and they have a load of questions you can practice with. Here it will help replicate the time conditions you get in the real UCAT exam, and with these online banks, a lot of the time they can show the average time it should take you to do a question, so you can see if you're spending too long or too little on certain questions. So it's important to note that now, your main focus isn't just getting the questions right. You want to get the questions right, but you want to do it quickly. The UCAT is a blend between increasing the number of questions that you get right, which is your accuracy, and increasing the speed that you do it. Steps 1 to 3 of this guide really try and increase your accuracy because it's very, very important to know what you're answering, and then this step is going to really ensure that you increase your speed. The combination between increasing the accuracy and increasing your speed means that you're definitely going to have an increase in your UCAT score. For me personally, I think it's more important to get that accuracy down first before you start trying to do time practice. Additionally, in this time, you should try and optimize your speed by learning all the keyboard shortcuts, so I'll leave them down below in the description. And last, and by no means least, step 5 is to make sure that you start doing these mock exams. At this point, you should be pretty ready to sit your UCAT. You've done a load of practice questions, you've improved that accuracy, you've improved your speed, and you've really optimized your learning. Now you want to do these mock exams because it helps you replicate the exam setting and gives you the best chance of performing well on the day. Additionally, you'll present new challenges that you might not have felt when you just did time practice individually, and it's really important to have these challenges now before you do it in your real exam. You don't really want to be stressing about timing and trying to flag things in the real thing, so start learning these challenges now. At this point, you should have all your shortcuts memorized, you'll be smashing that flag button 2,000 times a second, and the calculator is your best friend. Really do try and optimize, find your weaknesses, and find out how to overcome them every single time you do a new mock. And one of my favorite techniques I like to use in my mocks and replicate in the real UCAT exam was that flag, guess, and get back to it later style. Here, if you come across a question that is slightly harder than the rest or is just a little bit different, you should flag it, put a guess answer, and get back to it later once you've reviewed all the other questions. The idea of this is that every single question in the UCAT holds the same weighting in terms of marks, but the difficulty of them does not scale equally. You'll have some questions that are really, really difficult but are just worth 1 mark. You have some questions that are super duper easier and are just worth 1 mark. So there's no point just trying to waste time on the hard ones. Focus on doing the easy questions first and coming back to this one later. A lot of the time in the UCAT, they might throw a load of hard questions at the start to throw you off, and then you realize, wait a minute, I've wasted so much time on these, I'm not going to have time to do the easy ones. So try this method out and I'm sure you'll see improvements in your score straight away. Well, I hope this video made you feel a tiny bit more confident while you're preparing for your UCAT. If you want to see more videos where I go over the different styles of questions in the UCAT and the different sections, check it out over here. And if you just want to see what dentistry is really like, check out this playlist over here. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.